Hi, my name is Pat Reynolds and welcome to the first in a series of Pat's Chat. Today what we're going to do, we're going to talk about nutrition. These are the golden rules for getting success. Okay, so lads, breakfast, number one important rule. Okay, you have to have breakfast 20 minutes after getting up. Why? It kickstarts your metabolism. It stops muscle breakdown. If you don't have breakfast, what happens? You're putting your body into starvation mood. So what happens then is your body holds onto the fat and burns into the muscle. Muscle burns calories. Okay? Number 2 point. You have to have carbohydrates and protein, which are 3 most important meals. With breakfast, with dinner, and even with supper. We'll talk about later on about supper. But with breakfast, I said a few things like I said. Scrambled egg with Revita. You're getting carbs, you're getting protein there. Even if you're having Weetabix, what you can do is you can get a scoop of Vision, throw it into the blender with a bit of milk, put it over Weetabix. You know that you're getting around 20-25 grams of protein first thing in the morning. Okay? Rule number 3, calorie intake. Okay? We're going to be having nutrition seminars in K2NY over the next few months. This is going to be a big part of it anyway. If you ever want to know roughly whatever desired weight you want to go, if you want to achieve say 10 stone, multiply 10 by 14, so that's 140 pounds that you're looking for. Multiply that by calorie intake by 9.5 to 10. You should be roughly taking in around 1400 calories. You can look in up at calorieking.com. That all you have to do is put in a food and you get what exactly every food consists of, calorie intake consists of. Portion sizes. Okay, that's very important. As I said, one of the key rules that we kind of always use is, instead of getting a big plate, use a small plate. You know, I always say for a fist, kind of a handful is what you should be having. Like, you know, so if you put your hand in the plate, that's how much you should be having. Okay, fruit is so important to be having either at 10 o'clock and 4 o'clock. I always have fruit by itself. I said fruit is full of enzymes. What do enzymes do? They actually break down carbohydrates, protein and fats. You know, this is where if you don't have them, your digestive system isn't going to be working properly. You're not going to be digesting the food. What's going to happen? The food is going to lodge, stay in your stomach. It's going to turn into fat. So this is so important that you do get fruit at 10 o'clock and 4 o'clock to, as I said, to break down the foods. Trying to have no carbs after 4 o'clock. Once you have your last fruits maybe at 4 o'clock, you can even have, with your fruit, you can even have 6 to 8 almond nuts just to get a bit of protein, magnesium for muscle contraction, but having no carbs after 4 o'clock. You know, what happens is when you get your carbs mostly in the morning, you know, this gives you fuel throughout the day, gives you slow releasing energy. After that, when you kind of maybe take a lot of carbs after a certain time, 6 o'clock, you're not going to get the best benefit out of it because it's not going to be digested. So what you do is your body, if you can give maybe protein in the evening time, like as I said, you can have maybe a chicken stir fry but without any of the rice. You could also have an egg omelette if you wanted as well. You know, this is just getting protein into your meal and not having anything carbs after 4 o'clock. 80% of your muscles is water. If you're not getting the main ingredient into your body, you're wasting your time. You know, the average person, if they're not drinking water, can hold on to 6 to 7 pounds of water. If your body sees you're not getting water into it, what it does, it holds it onto it, because if you don't have water, you're going to die. So, for example, certain goals that I always do for myself is before 12 o'clock. For women, you should have 1.5 litres gone in by 12 o'clock. For guys, you should have 2 litres. Then when you have reached that goal at 12 o'clock, have another, say, bottle that you'd have, with a litre bottle that you'd have a litre gone by 3 o'clock. So for women, you're after having 2.5 litres already by 3 o'clock. Then, maybe from 3 until 6 o'clock, maybe have another litre, so you're after taking in 3.5 litres, which is sufficient for you. And then if you're training at night, you know, you can suck away the water. Obviously you need, if you're sweating out a lot, maybe doing spinning class and stuff, you are going to lose a lot of water, so you have to replace it as well. So, like, you should be aiming certain goals for 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Put them golden rules into it, like, and trust me, they do work. Number 7, okay, not eating after 7 o'clock, okay. After 7, this is why I'm saying breakfast, your metabolism is the highest between 7 and 10 in the morning, so it's like you have to kickstart, you have to put fuel into the body in the morning, okay. After 7 o'clock, your metabolism is shutting down. So if you're coming back from work or anything like that, maybe 8 or 9 o'clock, and you're going away and you're hungry, you're going to eat a good proportion size of a dinner or something like that, and a lot of, maybe 50% of that is not going to be digested, even to 70 won't be digested, so that's going to be stored as fat. So if you are working late, make sure, even how it says, it's all about preparing food the night before. It's the opposite then, as I said, in the night time. Your metabolism is shutting down after 7 o'clock, so any food that you probably digest on, it's not going to be burnt, it's going to be stored as fat. So it's so important to really watch this. So if you're going to be finishing working late, you have to plan the night before. As I always say, when you're doing anything, as I said, you have to bring in your lunch, bring your fruit. It'll only take you 10 minutes the night before. Even this is where I say it's so important having a food diary, because if you can write down what you're going to eat the following day, exactly, it's written down beside, it's actually, you have it ready for the following day, so that is so important. Okay lads, we're going to wrap it up there. I gave you 8 points, there's still another 6 to come, but as I said, I want you to work on them, maybe even play back this video maybe 2 or 3 times, okay? As I said, just keep on asking questions. And K2NY, we always say the more you learn, the more that will reflect back and the more results you will get. So, on to the next series, bye for now.